Hi, this is David Dusek, senior writer with Golfweek magazine. Welcome to this week's edition of the Winner's Circle. Bubba Watson is your winner at the 2014 HSBC Champions in Shanghai, China. I'm joined today by Matt Rollins, who's a Ping PGA Tour rep. Matt, how you doing?
Hi, David. I'm doing well, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much for joining me, and nice stuff that's sitting there behind you, some of those championship flags. Bubba Watson's got another flag that he's going to bring home from China. Pretty interesting story that I'm hearing a little bit about the driver that he chose to go with as his gamer. Not his typical driver, not the driver he's been using over the course of the last few months on the PGA Tour. What can you tell me about it?
Yeah, that's true. On Friday, before he left for China, he called and said, "Hey, my driver that I've had since Greenbrier just doesn't feel the same. I don't know if something's broken or not, but can we just, so I can put it, in my mind that I'm okay, send some more. I'm going to test them, and then I'll let you know which one I played." And so we sent 3 drivers to him on that Friday before, and they arrived Saturday, and he left later that afternoon, and he put one of those in play, and good results. He drove it really good and really far, and made a couple putts.
Now, you obviously are famous for being in the commercial that Ping put together that sort of introduced the 30 drive with the turbulators with Bubba Watson in there.
Hold on, be quiet. We gotta wait for it to land. There it is.
In there. What can you tell me about, not just when Bubba's standing behind you, sort of talking about things and thank you, but about the difference in the performance that he has with the G30 and the turbulators and the aerodynamics and the club head speed, that stuff, comparing the G30 with what he had, which was obviously pretty long already with G25.
Yeah, whenever you bring out a new product, you're always kind of like, okay, let's see how it goes. We know what like our Ping Man, our robot does, and we know what all of our engineers have researched for a long, long time. We did all of our R&D, but God, it's always a little bit scary when you bring up the longest guy on the PGA Tour and go, okay, let's see what it does. And for him, it was about 1.5 miles to 2 miles an hour club head speed, which was 3 or 4 miles an hour ball speed, and he hit it further, and just from the first shot on. So as soon as Bubba gets in anything, it gets a little scary how quickly he can start hitting it really far. And the other thing he liked was that it was really straight, super straight. In fact, sometimes it was almost too straight for him. So that's always a good comment to have.
Gotcha. Now, interesting enough, Bubba Watson carries a 4-wood, and he's still carrying the G25 4-wood. Is there any work going on? Is he thinking about making some adjustments in his quote-unquote off-season to get into a newer version, the G30 fairway woods? Yeah,
we're actually making him a 4-wood right now. In the G30 line, as you know or don't know, we make a 3 and a 5-wood. Both of them are adjustable. We've done testing with him with a 5-wood that's strong and a 3-wood that's weak. He just likes the number 4, and for good reason. He's had good success with the 4-wood. So the 3-wood tends to go too far for him. A 5-wood goes just a little too high for him. So 4-wood's like a perfect complement of both things he wants to do. And as you saw this weekend in China, he hit some spectacular 4-woods on 18.
Now, one of the golf clubs that obviously he's known for is that pink driver. In this case, now he's into the G30. To me, one of the golf clubs that looks the most unique and is kind of the coolest looking is his putter. He's using a Ping Answer Milled 1 putter, and he's had it in his bag for a little while. He's got a really interesting sort of a cosmetic treatment or some type of a finish on there that makes it glow almost as purpley pink sort of rainbow effect on there. What did you guys do to that thing?
Well, so it's kind of a great story. So he was in our office. He lives in Phoenix in the off season for a couple months, and he gets bored. So he comes down. He says, "All right, what can I look at? What can I do?" It's kind of like going to Disneyland for him, I guess, sometimes. And we were walking around in our engineering group, and our engineers always have different finishes that they're working on. Companies might be trying to push some kind of finish on a club so they can sell it to us, and there just happened to be a putter with that finish on it. And he goes, "Whoa, that's what I want." And it, kind of matched up to what his personality and his flair is, and had all these different. And the engineers kind of looked at me like, "Oh, he's not supposed to see that." And next thing you know, we're asking for it, and next thing you know, is winning golf tournaments with it. And like you said, it does have kind of it's a PVD finish. It's an iridescent finish. So depending on how the sun hits it, it's going to look different every time. And we've had a lot of people ask about it, and it's been a lot of fun, and it's really cool.
And I'm sure if anybody out there wants one, go ahead, win 2 Masters championships. Ping will be more than happy to make one for you, too. Here's a complete list of the golf clubs that Bubba Watson used in Shanghai to win the HSBC Champions. For a driver, he used the aforementioned Ping G30 with 9 degrees of loft that had been adjusted to 8.25 with a Graphiloid Bimatrix X shaft. His fairway wood is a Ping G25 with 16.5 degrees of loft that has been adjusted down to about 15 and has a Fujikura Motore Speeder Tour Spec 8.2X shaft. His irons are Ping S55s, a 3-through pitching wedge. Those all have True Temper Dynamic Gold X100 shafts. His wedges are a Ping prototype wedge, a 52 that's been bent to 51.6, a 56 that's been bent to 55.3, and a 60 degree that's been bent to about 62.8. All those have True Temper Dynamic Gold X100 shafts. His putter is a Ping Answer Milled #1, and Bubba Watson's golf ball of choice is a Titleist Pro V1 X prototype. Matt, thanks a lot for giving me some real inside scoop and some detail on Bubba's stuff.
You're welcome, David. I hope to talk to you next week.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Talk to your tour staff, and maybe that's going to happen. Thanks very much for joining us inside the Winner's Circle. This is David Dusek for Golfweek Magazine, and I'll see you real soon.